One aspect of Judaism today that I think would be unimaginable to my grandparents is the fact that I could travel to any country in the world and see their histories and every other Jew's histories from different countries and different places and different backgrounds at just a flight away.
The availability of kosher food today is just mind-boggling. The level of availability, not just restaurants, just products. As a close friend of mine, a great rabbi who lived in Israel, came and visited the States and walked into a kosher supermarket, and he said, I never knew there were so many things I didn't need.
How the environmental movement, which they couldn't have even imagined that in and of itself, but how that really has become an expression of being Jewish, that the green movement is really a Jewish movement.
Having grandparents at a wedding was really an amazing thing. There are very, very few. Almost no one who was in my parents' generation had grandparents at a wedding for obvious reasons, the destruction that had happened in Europe. But in the current generation, people who are grandparents are starting to feel this tremendous emotional moment that they're the first grandparents in many, many years to be grandparents at a wedding for these many, many children that they're seeing.
Everything. The fact that I'm a rabbi would have been unimaginable to them. The fact that I work at a Reformed congregation and that we do creative programming with 6,000 people out at Rosh Hashanah under the stars at Oregon Ridge, and that there even would be 6,000 people who would come, would have been unimaginable to them.
Every day, someone who wants to learn Jewishly and grow Jewishly can come here and many other places throughout the community and engage in that traditional Jewish process of studying Torah, and I say that in the very broadest sense of the term. The way we study Torah is so that we can learn who we are as Jews, where we've come from, and where we want to go in the future.
My grandmother, who was a Holocaust survivor, would have never believed the educational achievement, the political access, the freedoms that we enjoy here, and the affluence, and that we in the Jewish community are only limited by our imagination, that anything is achievable.
I think that my grandparents would be amazed by how we started off with just 10 families in Baltimore and grown to approximately 200 families, and that we have this beautiful structure here that symbolizes a Persian culture.
The way that I can sit down with my Reform colleagues, my Orthodox colleagues, and we can work together on areas of common interest. For example, the sustainability of Jewish day school education, working together for Israel, just sitting together and talking together for the good of the entire community.
At the speed and volume at which we can create and disseminate information. I mean, back then we used to literally print the Jewish Times in Pittsburgh, put it on a train, and then deliver it in Baltimore. Now we can be at an event, get the information, and email blast it to our readers within 15 minutes.
Electronic Judaism, iPods, iPhones, Twitter, Facebook, using the internet, virtual communities. They couldn't have imagined what we would have access to in the 21st century in ways that we're using the electronic world, the cyber world, to bring people together and allow them to form real Jewish communities.
When they came to this country, they were trying more to assimilate and sort of steered away. They used to keep kosher. They came here, they stopped keeping kosher. What would have blown them away is that their grandchildren now keep kosher.
The sense of empowerment is having a Jewish nation with a Jewish military, and me being able to teach an Israeli self-defense system to police agencies in America and around the world, really. Something that I don't think could have happened, I guess, 50, 100 years ago.
The sheer number and variety of volunteer opportunities in this community is astounding, and really the desire of individuals to come and get their hands dirty and make a difference. I really get to see every day how when people come together we can repair the world.
I have friends, especially at school, that are Orthodox, Reform, as well as conservative and Reconstructionists, and we all have different learning styles, secularly as well as Jewishly, and being able to all come together and integrate and blend into one learning style that's compatible for all of us is something that I don't think would have happened in my grandparents' time.
In fact, it's very interesting the way Judaism has evolved in general over the centuries to make accommodations to the way life is lived in the time that Judaism is practiced. And I think they would have found it exciting, enlivening, amazing. I think they would feel very much at home.
I think there'd be a lot they would recognize, and a few jaw droppers. That's my take.